Hey everyone, here is Simone's first session with the remote collar. So, minus finding her working level, this is her first session. Right there, you saw she was kind of in front of me. At that moment, on her working level, I press and held the continuous button, give leash pressure to guide her where I want her, and as soon as she comes into me, I release the pressure, praise her, and then we continue moving forward. Sorry there was no sound for this video. For some reason, my contraption I use does not take well to the voice. So, all we're pretty much doing in this is walking around. I'm looking for moments where she is interested in something so that I can practice the pressure on, pressure off kind of dance with her, right? So there's some construction going on behind us, which is proving to be useful for this. But anytime her ears go up, she's kind of looking at something, I'm going to press and hold. And if she's not giving in to that number, that initial working level, I'm going to dial up a little bit on the remote. So I'm going to roll up on it. Not a ton, but a little bit to get her to come into me, right? And we're going to just keep practicing this over and over and over. Here we are walking around. I'm also would be practicing heel at this moment as well. She's been learning stuff on the leash and prong, so I'm layering what she has learned with the remote collar. So right there you saw a leash pressure sit, which basically means I give steady, light leash pressure straight up. She's been taught what that means. I then release that pressure when her butt hits the ground. So now I'm layering the remote collar with steady pressure as I say sit, leash guidance up. As soon as it goes away, I release both things. And then I praise. And then we move on. There's another leash pressure sit. And in the previous one, you saw when I went down to pet her, she got up, right? So that was an indication to me that petting her would be too much of praise for her at that moment because it just caused her to break. So I just would then use my voice and say good. But then that next time, she kind of understood it better and stayed seated while I gave her a pat on the head. So again, we're just walking around, waiting for her to get fixated. You can kind of see the ears up, forehead wrinkled. Praise, 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 guide her into me. And then we continue on with a let's go. When doing these training sessions, it sure doesn't take long to tire your dog out. So the reason why I'm moving forward here is because I want her hips facing in the direction that I'm facing. If her hips are facing the other way, that means she's looking at something else. So I'm going to just kind of, and then here, I use that to my advantage and practice another moment where we can do the leash guidance into me. And now here, I'm going to flip the camera around and use Jessie as a distraction. It might be too much at this time, but, You always try it, and if it proves to be too much, you can go back to minimal distractions. Simone is very interested in people. She likes people, so if she was free on the leash, she would probably run up there. Right here, I probably should have choked up on the leash a little bit, but you know, we're just practicing some longer line stuff. So if she breaks command, it's important that we follow through. I ask her to be in a sit, so I want her to maintain that sit. Notice too how Jessie isn't talking to the dog. If she was to talk to the dog, it would just have made it harder for Simone to do good with her sit.